Because you know how I can tell, this is my filter anyway, for people that are actual Kanye fans or people that are like cultural Kanye fans. Welcome back to episode 3000 with President-elect Donald Trump. Just kidding. Alex, our amazing wizard producer, has some Instagram Reels content, silly shit that I am going to react to completely blind. So I don't know what he's got for me. So I'm kind of nervous, but we'll see what's cooking. And then we'll go from there. I'm assuming it's mostly going to be fitness related, but knowing Alex, there might be some other fringe stuff in there too that gets a little funny. So I guess we'll see.
So she named her daughter Alexis.
Yep.
Because Alexis is both the name of a car and an appropriate name for a child.
It's a proper noun.
It is a proper noun. This motherfucker is spitting Shakespeare weeds in the presence of...
I want an ass on my face. That's an ass face. Put a container in the fridge. That's a cold case.
Yo, what is he talking about?
I don't know anymore, man. I don't know anymore.
Now here are my unfiltered thoughts on the socio-political state of the world.
Oh, okay,
now I won't
I'm
say
turning this
who,
shit
but
off.
you know.
Circle. Square. Triangle. This one's so easy. How do people mess... Rectangle. Oval. How do people mess this one up? Pentagon.
Is this the comedian?
Oh my God, I hit the Pentagon.
Oh, that's good. Oh, nice. I saw this one. Dude, over that song. Oh, man. The view of our gym is better than yours. What's that one on the island? That's what I'm thinking of.
I think the most interesting finding of the last decade in all of science. When you contract your muscles, they literally secrete these proteins into your bloodstream that make you resilient to stress and can protect you from depression. The scientists called them hope molecules. This idea that your muscles are manufacturing antidepressant molecules, and the only way to get them into your bloodstream is you have to contract your muscles. It's like a pharmacy in your muscles, and anything you do that contracts them, walking, hiking, running, dancing, weightlifting, like swimming, anything, you are going to be dumping hope molecules into your bloodstream. And they also help people recover from trauma. That's like a miracle, because of course it's wonderful when medications work for you, but for so many people, medications don't do the full job in terms of helping with mental health. And the idea that your muscles could provide you with the equivalent of something like an antidepressant medication, I think is phenomenal.
It's real. Plus a Zyn.
Yep.
Plus a nicotine pouch.
This was just cool. I thought you would like this. You can adjust the resistance.
Dude, there's a lot of things like this coming out now.
Yeah.
Wow, that is incredible. That's cool. That's really cool.
It's cool until you think about like, oh shit, I forgot to recharge my home gym.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
And
need
then you're
energy.
like stuck there having to plug it in.
Yeah.
This one I figured you could relate to.
What to do after a cheat meal to recover. Well, I just had about 4,000 calories in the last hour and a half, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do next. For reference, these three things, I ate most of those. The aftermath. Now I'm eating a little bit of ice cream. You know what I'm going to do next? I'm going to chill the fuck out. And I'm just going to go back to my normal way of eating tomorrow. Also notice I didn't call it a cheat meal. I don't believe in calling them cheat meals. That's bullshit. If you're constantly trying to figure out how many cheat meals you can fit into your diet and still see results, you just fucking hate the way you're eating and you need to change something. In reality, what helped me stop cheating or binging was, number one, I stopped fucking worrying about it so much. It's not that serious. I'm gonna die one day. Why am I letting ice cream dictate my emotional state? I'm literally a sentient being. Number 2, I stopped calling so much attention
I like
and
this
meaning
guy.
to it. Tonight, I had a lot of food, and I'm not calling it a binge. Because then your brain starts to associate a negative feedback loop with that thing. Words give things power and meaning. So stop calling it cheating and binging. I just had a craving for some fried chicken, and I went and I fucked that shit up. And stop creating so many rules around your diet. We are wired to break rules and push boundaries. So the second I lifted my rules as to what I could and could not have, I really just started gravitating towards foods that made me feel good. And then every once in a while I get a hankering for some junk food and I just have it and I get the fuck on with my life because it's not that deep. And scientifically speaking, having an extra 1,000 calories one day is not going to undo all your progress, so chill out. Last and most important thing, which most people aren't going to see this point in the video anyway, stop calling it a relationship with food. You don't have an emotional connection with food.
That guy's good.
Yeah.
That guy's good. I can't remember all those clips though. I thought we were going to stop him after each one.
Oh, I can stop it after each one.
Oh, okay. Like, I can't remember. What was the first one?
The Kanye one.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that one's good because the the new Kanye West, the guy nailed the flow. Like, it sounded exactly like how he raps.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I was like, oh, that's perfect. Yeah. Do you think the new Bully is going to sound like Pablo vibes?
At this point, I'm just hoping it sounds something like
Different?
the original.
Yeah,
Like, you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like the back in the day kind of stuff.
Yeah. And like, even back in the day at this point, I would go for like 3 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would even go for, I know people didn't really like Donda, but like,
I'm okay with a Donda.
I
Give me
loved
another
it.
Donda.
I
Not
really-
Donda 2. I don't know if you heard that one. That was terrible.
Did I hear Donda too?
It never officially
What were the big
released.
tracks on there? Oh,
There weren't.
okay.
But like, it never officially released. It got put on his website for people that purchased the player or whatever,
Yeah.
the stem player.
Yeah.
And then people leaked it. And then like
Oh,
other people
Yeah, I don't-
allegedly downloaded it and listened to it.
gotcha. Yeah, I don't remember hearing anything from
It
that.
wasn't good.
Oh,
Donda
that
1 like
sucks.
felt like very curated and felt like there was a concept there.
Yeah,
The
it
second
did.
one was just like, hey, we didn't know what to do with these extra tracks. Let's just toss them in.
That's the worst. You're like, dude, this is a mixtape, not an album.
Mhm.
You know? Like,
Exactly.
yeah, I loved the Donda vibes, man. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, if the ultimate would not even be Donda vibes, it would be like, because you know how I can tell, this is my filter anyway, for people that are actual Kanye fans
Mhm.
or people that are like cultural Kanye fans. Here's my filter. You let me know what you think. Cultural or real Kanye fans will be like, oh man, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, amazing album. They'll be like, late registration, underrated.
Mhm.
And at least that, at the very least.
Yeah.
What will happen is with the cultural Kanye fans is they will skip over both of those and just be like, oh man, Stronger, Graduation, banger. And then they'll be like, College Dropout, right? They'll just go
Yeah.
back to the first one and be like, that's when it was good. And you're like, no, there was like 7 great albums after that.
It's true. And each
It's
one
like-
had like a specific sound and vibe to it.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
I respect. Because it's like I don't know, you have days where you're, at least for me, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, my Dark Twisted Fantasy, you gravitate towards
Yes.
that kind of Kanye sound.
Yes. Yeah.
And then other days where you're like, I just need some like
Yep.
Sunday service kind of vibes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
You
It
know?
is. It is like Donda's the same way because that's the only album to me that sounds like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a specific mood.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, but yeah, it's like, I always find that funny because I'm like, oh, I don't know if you've heard all of Kanye's music before. Because like there's a lot of, in my opinion, it's better than College Dropout. Like a bunch of the stuff in between is better. But
Give me your top 2.
like My
Albums.
Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, I think is the best album.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm like, that doesn't even make any sense.
No.
Like, I'm like, yeah, that's so cool. Every time I come back to it, it feels like it gets better.
Yes. You notice things you didn't notice before.
Yes, exactly. Because also and actually lyrically as well. Like there'll be sometimes like different lyrics. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm looking at that different, even just because of my own life experience is different since then. And then even the sounds where I'm like, I didn't notice those horns there or whatever.
Yeah.
Which
You know the
is
whole
cool.
story about that album, right? Like
The- What? What's up?
how it came to be in terms of like Kanye did that whole thing with the Taylor Swift thing,
Yep.
got exiled from the public eye,
Yep.
retreated himself for like I don't know how many months with like close knit people in like this one place to try to make my Dark Twisted Fantasy.
I didn't know he was like a recluse for that one.
Yeah, he was like a recluse for that entire thing.
I didn't even know that about that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you watch his miniseries, Doc?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, so good. Oh. All right, let's keep it good.
I don't know what you want to talk about next.
Let me see. The buses are up and on test. Prison vibes. Yeah, that one's good, I guess, eh? I saw that clip actually a couple weeks ago too.
Okay.
So I don't know who that woman is. But
yeah, to be honest, this was my boomer moment because I saw it and I was like, oh, that's a cool thing. I don't know if it's true or not.
Boomer moment. Yeah, yeah.
But I was just like, oh, this is cool.
No, it's good, dude. It's good. Because that would be good to comment on. Because what was her take there? Basically, like using your muscles is good for mental health.
Yeah, essentially
like
releases.
She's making that connection of like exercise scientifically is effective to improve mental health outcomes, I guess, is her thesis. And yeah, I would agree. Although, here's the thing, dude, that I will say, because I thought about this a couple days ago. I have been very depressed in my life. In fact, yesterday was a very tough day. And exercise, like going for a run, actually, I find can help. But going to the gym, this is probably unpopular opinion in the fitness world. Going to the gym doesn't help me. Like, I shouldn't say it doesn't help me. It doesn't make me better. Going to the gym keeps me from being suicidal.
Damn.
It keeps me from being worse if I'm feeling bad, if that makes sense. But it does not make me better in any way. It just keeps me afloat. So I will go to the gym when I'm feeling bad because I'm like, well, I don't want to feel worse than bad. So I should just do what I can to, survive right now. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like these messages, although the intent is good and they're true to some extent, sometimes I feel like it gets oversold sometimes where it's like, you just need to exercise. Like you don't need Zoloft. You just need to exercise.
I think, it simplifies things.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like sometimes, I'm not saying this woman was even doing that necessarily, but it's almost like the inverse of people that they would argue against maybe. That would be like very pro-medication and feel like they're, underestimating the powers of physical activity.
Yeah.
And it's like you're kind of doing the same thing now where you're underestimating the powers and the effects of medication and overestimating the effects of exercise. I don't know. But
I think there needs to be a balance of things, I don't think there's
it's like both are probably good, Like I got off medication. So for me, in my case, I'm like, this does not serve me anymore. I want to be off this. So I did. I use exercise regularly and it helps for sure. But it definitely does not. I don't think exercise for me has had any effect on my long-term mental health outcomes, which is kind of crazy to say, I guess. Which I guess maybe indirectly you could argue it has because I'm like, I feel more confident. I feel better when I'm in a body I'm proud of. So maybe there's something there. So that makes sense. So maybe that's not entirely fair, but yeah. Anyways, that's my take. Surprised it wasn't a Zyn and a Monster.
I've tried to like just Google Zen in the search thing so I can get more reels. You
know what you should do? You should outsource this to Sam.
I really should.
Yeah, like actually, because she would love it and it would save you the time.
Yeah.
And then be like, hey, just send it to me because like you'll nail this.
I mean, the whole thing is like, this is my algorithm randomly. So every time something bumps into it, I just save it.
So your algorithm is actually pretty good. Dude, this guy was good. I don't know who he is. Do you know his Instagram handle?
I can find it.
Okay. We should probably shout him out. Because, I thought that was a good take. It was basically the video about, he ate 4,000 calories or whatever it was. Maybe it wasn't 4,000. People just say stuff. But either way, he ate a lot of food and he was kind of making the case that very similar, like in alignment with my philosophy on nutrition as well, which is, I didn't agree with a couple of the little things he said, but the bigger point just being like, words have power. So be careful with how you kind of use them. It's like, I'm going to eat a lot of food sometimes. I'm going to overeat sometimes. I'm going to choose foods that don't align with my health or fitness goals sometimes. And I can literally just do nothing about that and move forward. I don't need to think about it differently. I don't need to act about it differently. I just need to move on with my night or my day. You know,
Yeah.
that's kind of was the case, right? Is what he was making. I'm like, yeah, that is kind of it. And I share that with clients, that similar kind of thing with clients a lot when they're like, they get into their head when it's like a rough day or a rough evening where they're like, oh man, I feel like everything was out of my control and I made so many decisions that I don't feel like were good decisions to me. And then they're kind of overwhelmed by that and it pulls them into that space where now they're dwelling on it. And then I'm like, if I can get them out of that, which is kind of the same thing he's saying, where I'm like, you literally don't have to do anything about this. You don't need to do extra cardio. You don't need to drink extra water. You don't need to starve yourself or skip breakfast. Like all we need you to do is move forward with what you normally do. Go get some sleep, drink your normal water, wake up and have breakfast, get your steps in tomorrow, go work out, eat your normal meals, you know? Like that's kind of it, really. And it's a lot simpler than you think.
Shout out to Higher Up Wellness. Is his Instagram page.
Higher Up Wellness. Okay, cool.
I would tell our viewers to go check him out, but he has 228,000 followers.
He doesn't need the help.
So check out Stay Peak.
Check out at Stay Peak. Yeah.
I think that was the last one, right?
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. Those are all bangers. Are we doing a batch per episode?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, perfect. So where are we at?
Yeah, it was 17 minutes.
Cool. Yeah, I'll wrap up in a bit then. Yeah, no, that was good. I think the biggest one there was definitely, I mean, I guess both those, dude. Both those two clips with that woman sharing the whole exercise thing. I'd be interested like with other people's opinion on that. So I'm gonna post this on social media. Because I'm gonna see what other people think, especially like other people in the fitness industry, you know, other coaches and stuff. And then even same with the last guy. The only thing I disagreed with the last guy's clip,
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Was it about the relationship with food?
Yeah.
I knew it because as soon as I saw the video, I was like, "That's Tim's not gonna agree with that."
Yeah. But like that's more of like semantics, probably.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, I disagree with that, but like that wasn't the case of the whole video. Like I agree with the whole thing he's making, the whole argument. I agree. Just that supporting point, I guess I would be like, you know what? Relationship with food is definitely a thing. And it's like, it's pretty emotional for a lot of people, you know? Food, like he could even rebuttal himself pretty easily there because he showed a clip of a photo of all the food he ate. You know, he had ice cream, French fries, fried chicken, some type of like quesadillas or something. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff in there. All those foods are like pretty dopaminergic, you know? Like as far as brain chemistry goes, they're going to like definitely overwhelm your reward system or your pleasure system. So it's going to feel good. So like anything that feels good like that, how could it not be emotional? This is why, this is probably a whole other thing, so I shouldn't get too much into it. But it's like, that's the whole thing with like emotional eating is like everybody kind of emotionally eats, or at least most people. I realize like some people that's not an experience where food doesn't drive them like at all, where they may not even experience eating in any case. But for most people, knowing that like humans are emotional creatures, at least to some extent, and then food affects emotions, like it makes sense that emotional eating is kind of just the experience of living, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like you want to avoid emotional eating. You want to just like manage your emotions around eating. That's kind of the take, I think. Okay, cool. We're out of here basically. Next batch coming up soon. Thank you for watching and listening. As always, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Please leave a comment below of your favorite part from this or anything specifically that you disagree with me. Post that below and we can go argue in the comments. It'll be a very good use of our time. And then we'll be friends after and high five and maybe hug. Much love. Talk to you soon.